some lower back health. My name is Dara. I'm a PT as well as a strength coach and yogi, also endurance athlete. So if you're dealing with any lower back issues or you just want some more core strength in your life, come to this class. Join me every week live. I host class every Friday live, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week, I'm just hosting some extra classes. I have a new lower back guide that is out right now. It's free. Grab it. It's in the link in all my descriptions and in my bio. Grab it. If you need some lower back tips and some core strength and some PT tips, that's it. So 30 minutes, we're gonna start off in standing. We're gonna take it down onto the mat. Weights are always optional for class. Listen to your body. I'm gonna give you some PT tips, modifications. Again, strength, mobility, we want both. So we're gonna start off in standing with a nice little yoga warm up, just getting some opening, lengthening through our spine, just to open things up, just get everything moving. Get our day off to a nice start. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to get notifications of live class. Let's start in standing. Join me, reach up to the sky. Again, listen to your body, modify as needed, right? This class is for you, I'm just your guide, right? So just see what feels good and right to you. Lengthen, inhale, reach, crown of the head to the ceiling, get some length. Let's just go through a quick yoga warm up before we get into our core series today. We've got 3 moves. 3 advanced core moves. I will break them down. Exhale, forward fold, bring the arms all the way down, shake it out, release any tension, keep the knees nice and soft. Again, going through a simple yoga sequence. You don't need to be great at yoga or flexible to get something out of this. Again, leaving the knees nice and relaxed and soft and just shaking the arms out. Starting off nice and slow, we're going to speed up very soon. On your next inhale, halfway lift, flat back. This is your hinge. I want you to bend at the hips, straighten out the legs, get a nice little stretch in those hamstrings, brace with your abs here, right? So tighten here, tuck the chin in, pull the shoulder blades back, engage these big back muscles, your lats. Hold it here for 1 breath. And then bring your hands down, step back into plank. Nice tall plank, spreading the fingers wide. Again, pushing away from the mat here, right? So we're not here, we're here. Hold tall, abs are braced, abs are on, tuck the chin. And then exhale, knees down, slowly lower chaturanga, elbows close to your sides, uncurl your toes, and then press yourself up into just a little baby back bend, little baby cobra. Pull the shoulder blades down your back, and just hold it here for a second. Again, should feel nice on the lower back, not pinching. Hold it here, 1 breath. And then exhale back down. Breathe it out. Uncurl your toes, press yourself back, downward facing dog. That is the entire sequence. We're gonna go through that 2 more times. Again, I'm trying to spread the fingers wide, create traction here, push away from the mat, drive my butt up high to the sky, pedal the feet, give your calf and ankles a nice little stretch. Should feel nice. If you're like me, you got tight calves, right? Let's go through this series 2 more times. So walk your hands back to your feet. Let's speed it up a little bit. Rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. Again, we want a supple spine, mobility in all of our joints, not just strength in our muscles. We need both. Inhale, reach to the sky. Round 2, crown of the head to the ceiling. Root your feet into the ground. Get some length in the spine here. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the arms all the way down. Knees are soft. Shake it out. Release any tension. Noting where you feel any tightness. And then on your next inhale, halfway lift, flat back, straighten out the knees. This is our Sun Salutation A yoga sequence. Easy peasy, right? I love this as just my basic warm-up for the day. Hands come down to plank. You can do this on your own in the mornings, getting opening, getting some strength, getting some upper body here. My shoulders pushing away from the mat, right? I'm not here. Abs are on. Not sinking, really contracting with those abs, breathing. Exhale, lower either knees down or challenge yourself coming all the way down. Whatever feels right for you, uncurl your toes, elbows in close to your sides, up dog or cobra. This should feel like some good extension, healthy, nice into that lower back, right? We spend all of our day kind of hunched, flexed over things, car, computer, whatever, desk, phone. Get some extension in the spine. The spine needs to be supple. It needs to move in all directions to stay healthy, maintain joint health. And then exhale back down. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. Let's go through 1 last time with this. We're gonna add a little bit of a chair pose, a squat to our warm-up, just to finish our warm-up, get our glutes going a little bit. Friday's class, I'm gonna go a little bit more into some glute work, right? Today we got some spicy ab work today, nothing too crazy, but I will break that down next. Walk your hands back to your feet last time through, speeding through it, rolling all the way up. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, fold, bring the arms down, knees are soft. Inhale, halfway lift, hinge. This is your deadlift, your hip hinge. Get comfortable with this position, straightening the knees if it feels okay. Abs on. Hands come down, plank. Hold, breath, abs on, exhale, lower, however you need to. Up dog or cobra. If you want to keep it low, that's fine. This should feel good on the lower back, not pinchy. and then downward facing dog. Meet me in downward facing dog. Let's move on. So let's hang out in downward dog just for a second to get a little bit of upper body strength, a little bit of a stretch in the hamstrings, the calves. If your heels are kind of not quite touching the floor, that's okay, neither are mine. We want some nice healthy mobility, getting those calves stretched, a little bit of the ankles stretched. And then just rock forward into plank really quickly. And then exhale it back. Let's just go back and forth just a few times. Work on a little bit of exhale, abs, obliques. Exhale it back. Inhale forward. Exhale it back. Let's just do 2 more, and then we're going to come into standing. So I'm going to do a little bit of a squat sequence just to round out our warm-up. One more time. We're going to take it down onto the mat, and I'm going to break down that core series coming up next. So roll yourself up carefully. If you have a weight, you can grab them. This is basically a squat. Your chair pose is your squat. Why do I like it? Because it's a great body weight, even if you don't have weights. Getting into your squat, some functional lower body strength. We need to squat. We need to hinge, and we need to squat for life, right? So if you've got weights, I've got my little kettlebell here, not needed. If you got it, grab it. You got 2 weights at your sides. That's just going to be your back squat, right? So whatever you got, bring it. If not, we're just going to do a chair pose. If you've got 1 weight, you can bring it at your center here, squeezing the elbows back, right? We're just going to sink back into chair. So I'm going to do this imagining I don't have weights, but if you got them, grab them, might as well. Make it more bang for your buck. Inhale, reach to the sky. Give yourself a nice wide stance, right? So your squat, if you got tighter hips, you might want to go wider. You might want to turn the feet out. That is okay. Just pick your move, stick to it, figure out what's right for your body. So if you're taking a wider stance, keeping my abs braced here, I'm going to sink back into my heels. My toes are still pressing down. Then I'm going to sink down and back into my chair pose. So that's all we're going to do. I want you to bring the arms down and then inhale. And then coming down into that squat. Well, and focus on depth, right? If you don't have the weights with you, I want you to just use this as a chance to do a couple of nice active squats. Getting into the hips, opening up the hips, getting a little bit of glutes. Well, my abs are on, my back is flat, I'm here. Everyone's going to look different in their squat. Opening the chest, my back is engaged. Again, these big back muscles, they help to stabilize, protect that lower back, right? So we want our core, our abs in the front, which we're gonna do a lot of next, but we also need that back, that upper body, that shoulder, that posture to stabilize and support us. And we also need hips, our glutes, our booty. We need some mobility, flexibility in the hips. We're getting from our nice deep squat. We also need glute strength. That's your base, that's your pelvis, right? So we need it all. Diaphragm, pelvic floor, glutes, abs, back, that is your core. Let's just do a few more here. Again, if you've got the weights, you can grab them here at your chest. Get some nice little squats in. Might as well work that booty. Work those hips. If you don't have weights, just work on a little bit of depth, right? Beautiful thing about that squat is it helps with flexibility, mobility in the hips, ankles, knees. It's also strength, right? So be using your time wisely. Let's do 1 more. All right, done with that. If you got the weights, you can put them to your side. The weights are going to be optional for our core work today. We are going to start with a Russian twist. So if you got weights, you can add them. Not needed. Always nice to add them, I say. Get some stuff for yourself at home. These are my 10-pound kettlebells. Dumbbells work as well. Let's finish with a little cat-cow. I'm going to talk us through our core series today. So again, little spicy ab work. So we have our Russian twist, which is going to be in seated. If you can't do the Russian twist, I would suggest to stay on your back for some bicycle crunches. That's another way to target the obliques. But for some people, that sitting position can bother their back. So again, we're trying to keep our back healthy and strong and really make the most out of our core work. We don't want to finish our core with our back just being sore. That is not the point. So Russian twist is going to be our first move. And then we're going to have a little bit of a reverse crunch, elbow to knee, or just a reverse crunch, right, to finish it out. And then we're going to do a little bit of lower abdominal work to finish off, a little bit of a hold. And I'll show that one last. So that's our main moves for today. So we're going to start off in seated. So it's finishing out. We're done with the warm-up. Let's come into seated. Again, your Russian twist. Weights are optional. If you've got them, grab them. We've got 3 moves, 3 rounds. We've got obliques. We've got some lower abdominal work. And we've got some deep core work to finish with a little bit of a hold and a flutter. We'll go over that one last. Sitting up nice and tall. Again, notice I'm pulling the shoulder blades back. I'm engaging my lats, stabilizing my back. I'm not here. I'm here. Now, if you've got the weights for your twist, you can add them in. This is our first move, 3 rounds, 3 moves. This first round is gonna be our longest. So we're getting into a little bit of endurance, we're getting the moves down, we're really getting tapped into, what are we working here? Obliques. If you don't have the weights, that is okay. Get some nice rotation. Again, like I said, you can add some difficulty if you wanna lift the legs up to challenge your balance. Again, that was gonna work your core a little bit more. Just make sure you maintain that position, right? You're not losing it and your form is going if you lift the legs up. Now, again, as I said in the beginning with our squat, we're getting a lot out of that. So we're getting some hip strength, some glutes strength, but also your squat is a really good opportunity to just work on flexibility, mobility of the hips. This move, this Russian twist, is a good oblique muscle exercise, but you're also getting some nice opening of the upper back, right? Nice rotation in that upper mid-back, that thoracic spine, right? So it's a good opportunity to work on some flexibility, some mobility, as well as some strength. So just use your exercises and your time wisely. If you have more, if you want more guidance, you can also get that guide that I mentioned, that free low back guide. Download it, and that's gonna give you a whole program. Kind of like this class today, a little bit shorter, just to give you some ideas on tips, flexibility, core strength, breath work. I get in that a lot in that guide. So grab the guide, check it out, it's free. Last few here, and then we're gonna be on our back for a reverse crunch. That is our next move, deep abdominal work, right? 3, in 2, in 1, on your back. Put the weights at your side, reverse crunch, starting from the bottom up, squeezing that pelvic floor, squeeze and lift. So that's the first part of the move. This is the most important, that reverse lift. And if you want to add that upper body to make it that full elbow to knee, totally fine. Focus on the exhale. Again, squeeze. That's your deep lower abs here, pelvic floor. Squeeze, drawing up, lifting your butt up off the mat. That, if you want to just keep it level 1, would be here. Level 2, you can tap. And then the full extension. If you want to add the weights as well, if you've got the weights, you want to get really crazy with it, here, right? So up to you. Exhale. Exhale. So this is our second move. Our last move, we're going to do a hold, and we're going to finish that hold with a flutter kick, right? So we got some deep, hollow body hold. I will show you options, and then at the end of it, we're going to kick the legs out. So that's our 3 series moves today. We're going to do 3 rounds. So our first round, squeeze. Last few here. You decide which version you're going to do. In 3, in 2. These should feel challenging. And then bring the weights at your sides. Again, hold for our hollow hold. Level 1 is going to be here. We're going to hold. Level 2, level 3. So we're going to hold that, and then we're going to kick the legs out for 10, right? So we're going to do 10 count hold, 10 count kick. We're going to come back into seated. So again, pressing the lower back down. Whichever version you pick, your lower back needs to stay planted. In other words, there should not be even a tiny bit of space here. So think about that first. Lifting the head up will often help you. So let's set ourselves up for that 10 count hold and then a 10 count flutter. These should feel challenging, but you really need to maintain that lower back press down. So pick whichever version you're going to do. Exhale, lift, hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, hold, press down. 6, chin is tucked in. 5, 4, lower back is glued. 3, not even an inch. 2, 1, kick it out. 10, 9, 8, 7, engage ribcage down. 6, 5, coming back into that Russian twist next. 4, 3, these should feel challenging. Challenge yourself. 2, and 1, relax. Bring yourself back up into seated. Round 2, let's go. Set yourself up, locked in, right? Shoulders are back, abs are braced, leaning back. I'm not rounding, I'm not sitting on my tailbone. My lats are engaged, my back, I'm not rounded. If you want to lift the legs up, you can. If you've got weights, go for it. If you don't have weights, grab a water bottle, right? Something like that. Again, weights are always optional in my class, highly suggested. Get a pair for home, right? Even if you go to the gym, I go to the gym. It's nice to get some additional weights added to your core strength. Why? Because to make it more challenging, especially if you're engaged in sports, you want to have a little bit more of that weighted challenge to your core, a little bit of complexity. But also, it's also a nice opportunity for a lot of my runners, my cyclists, myself included. It's just a great way to get a little bit more upper body work in, right? You have the weights. So you get to hold on to the weights, add a little bit more upper body, a little bit more challenge. If your goal is also just more ab definition, right? My clients who just want more defined abs, then also just adding more weights, just adding some difficulty, complexity to that. So let's rotate. Let's finish out our Russian twist. Then we're going to be on our back, reverse crunch. Then we've got our hollow body hold, round 2. Stay focused. What am I working? Obliques. Twist, 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 twist. Keep going, and twist for 10, 9, 8, 7. Really twist. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, weights optional. Come onto your back. Reverse crunch to start off. Focus pulling up, drawing up, squeeze, and down, up. And as my feet press down, my lower back is still staying pressed down, right? If you want to add that crunch, upper body, you can. Up to you. Squeeze, connect, zip, connect, locked in here. This is your center. Why are we working on a core? To stabilize our lower back, to maintain stability through our trunk, so that our arms and legs can be really efficient and powerful for our sports, for life, for picking things up, for picking up our kids, our dogs, whatever. Use your breath, exhale. I get into the breath work a lot in that lower back guide because I feel like that is a part that is really missed, not just in PT, but in terms of regulating your nervous system, relaxing, but also to create power, to use your core. That diaphragm is part of your core. Use your breath. Exhale. And up. Let's do a few more, and then again, we're going to finish with that hollow hold, and then we got our last round. We're going to stretch, be done. That is it. In 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Ooh, abs are sore from doing some ab work. All right. 10 count hold, hollow hold. On the exhale, I'm pressing. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's going to go like this, right? So I'm here. Rib cage comes down. Boom. Locked. Connect. Abs. Tight, tight, tight. Visualize what you're aiming for. Tight. Connected here. I'm breathing underneath that, right? So set yourself up, whichever one you're going to do. And let's do a 10 count hold. 10. 9. Chin is tucked in. 8. 7. You really want to get crazy? You can have the weights over here. 6. 5. Up to you. 4. 3. 2. These are challenging. Kick it out. Finish. Flutter. Kick, 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 kick. 10. 9. Challenge yourself. Maintain this lower back press down. 8. 7. Stay connected. Stay committed. 6. 5. 4. Kick faster. 3. 2. These should hurt in a good way. And last one. Last round. Let's zoom through this. I want to get into some lower back strength as we finish our class today. So let's finish up strong. Again, focus. Shoulders pulled back. My lats, those big back muscles, pull them down your back. Engage, stabilize, protect your lower back. Right? Lats. I'm getting some nice rotation. I'm engaging my obliques. What am I working on? Those big muscles that come across the body. Also to generate power, those oblique muscles. Running, biking, swimming, walking, life. So we want good obliques. We also, obliques, ab work, definition, physique, goals, right? That's also okay. Whatever your goal is, you do you. This class is for you. If you're just working on lower back health, if you're working on more ab strength, core strength for your sports, you just want to feel better as you get older, whatever. Understand what you're working, why you're working, how you're working. Get the form down. Again, as a PT first, you should be finishing class with your abs feeling sore, not your lower back, right? That is the goal of this class. Lower back health, core strength, mobility, all of it. You don't need a lot to get that done. A couple times a week. Take my class, watch my other core videos. Should be enough, right? Keep it simple. Stay consistent. Last few here. Consistency is the key. Every Friday, I have my core class. Today, little add-ons. A couple times a week is all you need. 4. In 3. In 2. And 1. Drop the weights. I think I'm done with the weights for today. You can add them in if you want. All right, reverse crunch or full body elbow to knee crunch. Finish up strong. Your first set and your last set, you should be paying attention, just as focused, just as much work and effort going into it, even if you are fatigued. Take breaks whenever you need to, guys, right? Again, if your form is starting to go, then take a break. Take a break. Exhale. Exhale, squeeze, lift. Lift. And if it bugs your neck to kind of do the lifting part upper, just do the lower, right? Modify. You can also tap further. Really challenge, right? Make this your own. Finding, okay, this works really well for me in this way. Right? We'll get into that when we finish with the stretches, how to modify things based on your body, because you are built differently than I am. We're all built differently, right? Let's do 4 more. 3, squeeze. 2, and 1, rest. Last move, we're gonna flip it over, do some lower back strength next. So hollow body hold. Again, zip. Use the breath, exhale. Breath work is key. I cannot emphasize that enough. You guys tap into that breath work. Let's finish our last move. 10 count hold. Set yourself up, mentally prepare, zipping it closed, abs are on, tight, lift, hold for 10. 9, 8, higher is easier. 7, 6, tuck the chin and rib cage is pressed down, not flared out. 5, 4, keep holding. 3, lower back is pressed down. 2, last one, kick. 10, burn it out. 9, 8, 7, stay focused. 6, maintain that pressure. 5, 4, this should feel challenging. That's the point. 3, 2, and 1. Flip it over. Let's start to cool it down. Let's do a little bit of lower back activation. So again, we're not doing heavy weights here. Just getting a little bit of lower back activation engagement. I want you to do these Supermans, Superwomans, whatever you want to call them. I want you to think about tucking that tailbone under ever so slightly, just to engage your abs, right? So a lot of times people do this, and then they're really arching their lower back, and then they're like, my back hurts. I'm like, well, that's not the point of this one. So lengthen as you lift, tuck the chin in, engage everything on the back side of the body, opposite arm and leg lift, and then turn your abs on a little bit here, right? So protect and stabilize that lower back. Tilt that tailbone under just a tiny bit, if that makes sense. So you can kind of kick in your abs a little bit. So you're not just pinching and pissing off your lower back, right? That ain't the point of this. We're trying to get activation, everything on the back side of the body, that posterior chain, activate. We're hunched over our desks, our computers all day. We're flexed. We're not really engaging a lot of these back muscles. So this is your opportunity to wake up your body, wake up your nervous system, engage. We're not doing heavy back work here. This is not about lifting heavy weights. This is just about engagement, activation, lift. Wake it up. Take this with you through the rest of the day. Engaged posterior chain. I'm sitting up nice and tall. I'm standing up nice and tall. I have good posture through the rest of the day. I'm aware, I have awareness of all these muscles, my glutes, the back of my shoulders, my lower back, everything. Last few. And then we're just gonna stretch and be done, and that is it for today. We only got a couple minutes left. Let's just do 2 more. Lengthen, reach. 1 more time, last one. Beautiful. Sit back into child's pose if that is comfortable. Again, if you're the tight hip club, bring your knees nice and wide for child's pose. Give those hips some space, right? Not everybody's as flexible. If you can't do child's pose, just come onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. We're gonna be there in just a second to stretch. Again, starting off class with some mobility, moving, activation, warming up the body, finishing with some easy stretches. Keep it simple. You do not need a lengthy, crazy routine to keep your body feeling good. Let's come onto our back, hug the knees into the chest. So again, we have some mobility to warm up. I like my sun salutation, my yoga warm up. We have some core strength, simple, hitting a couple targeted muscles, not just crunches, right? Mixing and match. And then mobility. Hug the knees, rock the knees side to side. Give that lower back a nice little massage. I have a nice sequence in that low back guide, so if you grab that, I'll take you through just a lower back easy mobility sequence you can do every day. So grab it, link is in my bio. Extend that left leg out, shake it out, release tension. Slow down the breath, inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth, roll the ankles and the toes around, get those feet moving, healthy, supple joints again. We want supple joints. We don't just want strong muscles, we want both, right? No matter what your age is, whatever your age, whatever your sport, we need mobility, we also need strength. Rolling that hip around, seeing if there's any tight spots here. And then with that left hand, bring that right knee across the body, just getting into a little bit of glute and lower back stretch. This should feel nice on the lower back. Again, like I said, we're all built differently. So you might look different doing this, and that is totally okay. We have different bodies, right? So I like to kind of rotate a little bit more off the mat. I'm getting a little bit more into that lower back. So if that feels good, that's great. You can have your knee higher or lower, depending on where you feel it or where it feels right for you. Maybe a little bit of glutes, maybe a T-bend, maybe a lower back. So just figure like, what am I trying to stretch here? And just be intentional with it, right? Head goes wherever it feels comfortable. Shaking out the head, releasing any tension. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Opening up the chest, the rib cage, this upper thoracic spine, getting into a nice spinal twist. Slowing down the breath. Good for digestion. Some of these spinal twists, love these. Come back to center, figure four stretch, nice big hip opener here. You can leave it here. This feels good. You can also reach through for thread the needle. A little bit more intense. Again, should feel like a good, nice glute hip opener. Again, this is the base of your pelvis. Unlocking those hips, reduce pressure and stress into the lower back. Roll the shoulders, release tension in that upper back. Neck and shoulders. Shake the head, releasing tension. Noticing a lot of times, myself included, we have all this tension in like neck and jaw. We don't even realize it, right? Until you kind of shake it out, you're like, oh yeah, that's really tight. Let it go, right? Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Relax. That slow exhale also helps to relax your nervous system. Just releasing some tension. Slow down the breath, especially on that exhale. Last breath here, and then we're going to switch sides, and then that's it for today. Unwrap that right leg, shake it out, let it go. Hug that left knee in, little ankle rolls again. The feet, that is your base of support. I cannot tell you as a PT how important having some healthy, happy feet, ankles, toes. Keep them healthy, guys. That's your base. You're on them all day, every day for many, many years. Keep those feet happy. Keep them strong, keep them supple. Rolling that hip around. Noticing how does this side feel compared to the other side. We all have these asymmetries. One side is tighter. That is normal. You're not weird. You're normal. That's humans. Right? Bring that knee across your body. Find that angle again. Your knee might be here, might be here, might be here. You may be more here. You're like, Dara, I can't even do that, right? You got to figure out what's working for you. And again, if you have other stretches that just feel really good, you're like, I actually like the pigeon pose or, whatever child's pose. Great, right? I'm just guiding you. I always tell people I'm just your guide. You then need to kind of apply that to your own body and what's going on. Again, opening out that left arm at a nice angle, getting a nice stretch. This whole line across the body. Breathing into that left side, breathing into that ribcage, expand. Rib cage is attached to that upper mid-back, that thoracic spine, so the ribs need to move as well, right? Otherwise you get stuck, stiff, tight in the neck, the shoulders, the back. Breathe. Breath, it always comes back to the breath, right? Last breath here, speaking of breath. Come back to center, figure four on the left side. We're almost done. We're going to finish in seated with just a nice little posture reminder. So let's just finish with our figure four stretch, opening up that hip, that glute, right? We've got one more move, and then that is it for today. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to get notifications of live class every week, every Friday. Today was just kind of a special one because I have my lower back guide, and I want everyone to grab it because it's free and it's pretty dang good. Simple, easy. stuff to follow. Last breath here, roll the shoulders, releasing tension. A lot of some similar stuff we did today, just much more organized, simple, that you can take with you on your own. Unwrap that left leg when you're ready. Windshield wiper the knees side to side, roll yourself onto your side, meet me in seated, coming up into seated. You can sit however you want. You don't need to sit cross-legged. If that's not comfy, that's okay. Let's just finish with that nice tall spine posture awareness. Take this with you through the rest of your day. If you guys are on your computer, on your phone, whatever, just a little bit of reminders. So normal posture, this isn't about being perfect. This is just alignment, ears over shoulders, right? A lot of us are here, so just take that with you. Tucking the chin and crown of the head to the ceiling, ears over shoulders. Shoulders are back. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale it out. One more time, reminder, tucking the chin and ears over shoulders, crown of the head to the ceiling. Nice aligned posture. Inhale. And then exhale it out. That is it for today. Thank you guys for coming. I hope you got something good out of class. Join me on Friday. Come back. Take care of your bodies, please. I will see you guys next time.